Get a new ViDoc called Out of the Shadows.
This really is the beginning of a new era, and I think beginning is an important part of that sentence.
This is the first time I think that, in a long time that Bungie has stood kind of on its own.
And we're self-publishing. It's a really big deal. There's a huge opportunity here for us to really make our own decisions.
It's a turning point for us.
We are in charge of our own destiny.
It's empowering and terrifying at the same time.
There are only two groups who are going to decide what happens to Destiny next. Bungie.
Okay, stop. Slow down. Please. What was that? There was like a force punch from a warlock. It's closer than you think. That's what it said. Stop! I can only get so erect.
So at its core, Shadowkeep is about returning to the moon.
We haven't been in the moon in a while, since Destiny 1, and a lot's changed.
There's a giant space dildo.
Exactly what you thought it was. There's like huge cracks ripped into it. There's a weird scarlet fortress. And so the context of the moon has been updated entirely.
This isn't just about the hive anymore. It's about something else, something terrifying.
It's the big boy!
The moon this time around is something really scary that is playing on your fear in a way that hasn't happened before. Before it was, oh, it's a big giant thing and it's scary, but now there's actual, like, some psychological elements to that.
How long has it sat in silence, watching us?
Much too long.
Having Eris Morn come back instantly signals to players the tone shift and change.
There's an undertone of threatening and psychological horror.
You're all insufferable!
We want to tap into what makes Guardians afraid. What are their worst fears?
Shadowkeep refers to the things that Eris unleashed on the solar system. Nightmares are manifestations of a Guardian's
The fuck was
past.
that, dude?
What if the villains that you thought were well into the ground actually weren't, and they were being resurrected by the darkness?
Phantasm.
Eris is trying to figure out how she unleashed this kind of madness, and so she needs your help. You can't just kill them and make them go away.
What if you can't do all of the things that you've grown accustomed to doing?
Being unable to achieve what you're trying to achieve, no matter how hard you try.
Players, they think we can deal with this. We killed Crota, like we killed Oryx. Like, no big deal, right? Well, you're gonna get there and you discover it's a bigger deal than you even thought it could be.
The darkness is actually a lot closer than you realized.
Now you know my suffering.
Unfinished business.
It's been a year, basically, of just a constant two-way dialogue with all of our passionate players.
Under it or on the sides of it more?
The number of green. That's really informed what it is that players want out of the Destiny game and how we're evolving, not just the story of the world, but what happens to you as a Guardian.
Like the thing that's supposed to blow you back or whatever, it's related to acceleration.
A bunch of the work that we're doing is about adding depth to the character sheet. The teams are thinking about how do we want to evolve armor, get more stats into the game, get more player customization. How can we get the depth of pursuit for how you want to play with this awesome character you've been building now for, some of us 5 years.
And like completely new ways of deepening
Nightmare Armor
character
Titan. I saw that.
We all know and love and want to be better.
By the way, I love the Braytech Warlock armor. Interesting. Building your monster killing machine. Okay.
in Shadowkeep.
Yeah, if it's
we are
transmog.
fundamentally evolving the systems and moving the world forward.
You want to bring some of that sci-fi element back to it, where it's like,
some like panels
or
something.
We've been dancing this line between like, are we RPG enough? Are we not RPG
I
enough?
don't- we don't know what it is,
Now we're
but-
like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all in and just say like, hey, let's give players what they want.
What the fuck?
Allow them to kind of like customize the players and their.
That was a
their
right
habits
hook to
and
the
their
ogre's
games, modes
face.
and all that stuff as much as they
What?
want to.
So in Shadowkeep, what we're doing is changing the way that armor, perks, and mods work pretty significantly.
Right now,
How?
in the game, if you have an armor set that you like the look of, but you have another armor set that you like the way it plays, you're probably going to pick the one that you like the way it plays.
Armor 2.0 is focused on allowing you to take the mods that you've unlocked and apply them to any given piece of armor.
When I move my cursor over one of these mod sockets, it immediately shows me all of the mods that are available to me.
Personally, I'm excited about the artifact.
What?
Just get to kind of like fidget with these.
It's not
knobs and
transmog,
switches and
but
do
it's
all the things that they want to do.
I can
When
make
you get to this
anything as
last
functional
tier,
as I want.
Each of these perks gets relatively close to what an exotic might feel like. That's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun.
Finishing moves are a new thing for Shadowkeep. What's your favorite?
I mean, there's some crazy ones.
For the hunter, this awesome flourish where he actually does like spin in front of him, has two
Dave
knives, and then just
Samuel!
hits.
I love you.
I was like, what the heck? Like, what game is this?
Yeah, Titan finisher. He jumps in the air, pulls back, looks at his fist, and
It's kind of like the dunk. There's so many different ways to
Holy
dunk. Behind
shit!
the back, you know, 360, cartwheel, whatever.
Endgame is the game. What in the fuck, dude?
We're in the playtest lab every day, trying to figure out what's good for the game, what do people want, what have they been asking for.
This is what they've been doing for the past year. And they haven't said a damn thing.
I am working on an exotic heavy bow, and I'm just working on figuring out some knockback, trying to see how big this. Okay, that's probably too much, but you get the idea. This is an exotic trace rifle. Fire it on an enemy and it creates a big old crit spot. Here's a hand cannon that Victor's working on. It fires special ammo, and it's a little bit like a one-handed sniper.
Like, it's actually our only hand cannon with a scope on it. Right now, it kind of lights you on fire if you keep firing it too much. We'll see. Some people like it, some people are kind of but we'll hammer it all out.
All right, it's time. It's about to get loud in here. 1v1. 1v1 on the board.
One of the things we really want to focus on, especially with Season 8 and the start of Shadowkeep, is a renewed focus on PvP.
You're all on the other team.
We're updating labs to include some much-loved game types from the past. We're also redoing a bunch of the playlists and how
Three
they
people
work.
loaded
But
in there.
The really important thing for players to know is this is just
Also,
the beginning.
Widow's
this
Court.
is us building the foundation of what we're doing with the Crucible going forward.
Oh, that's the... I forget that one's name. D1 map. It was a PS4 exclusive.
Previously,
It's like Sector 918 or something like that.
40, 60-hour climb before you could do what's considered in-game content. And now you can pretty much do that immediately.
We want you to feel like you are in the end game from the moment you step on the planet.
Leveling up your Guardian and becoming more powerful, overcoming dungeons, overcoming raids.
for the raid, we had
So
multiple
that
destinations
was
considered,
definitely
and Black
that
Guardian
looks
was,
like Venus.
immediately top of the list.
And everyone was like, yes. And I was like, yes, that's the one I wanted.
With Forsaken, we've started finding more ways for
So
players
maybe
to
Venus
customize
is the
and personalize
dungeon?
their character and differentiate themselves. Shadowkeep's going to push even further.
Is
in
the
that direction.
Black Garden the dungeon?
The word.
Is the Black Garden like the source of all this bullshit happening on the
experiential depth? When
Oh,
we
that
look
was
at
that. Wait, that was
talking
the
about
raid.
next 3 to 5 years. It's really important to us.
It's cool to have a game that you can invest in with your friends.
Sorry.
Tweak your monster killing machine and make it 2% better
Really excited.
every weekend, doing different things and figuring out how to craft this perfect build that you feel like is your own. Like, that is cool. There's nothing nerdy about it. We're like happy to own that. We're gonna stand on that corner.
That was Fogoth. Breaking down barriers.
As things change, if the game doesn't feel like it's changing to meet the new landscape, it just all fall down. You know, part of our DNA is finding different ways to bring people together. We needed a way to crush the barriers between friends.
We all have friends who could play Destiny, who are interested in it, but then we think about recommending it, like, oh man, you're gonna have to play about 40 hours by yourself, and then you gotta pay all this money, and you know, maybe you should just play something else. And that can't be the story. We need an entry point for your friends to be able to get into Destiny.
This is just simply about bringing people together to make it easy for players to enter this universe.
There's a new entry point coming out in September called New Light, and New Light is a free-to-download experience.
We're going to start off in the same place where Guardians first came into the world.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive.
So Destiny 2 is rebooting the vanilla.
Yeah. You're going back. Going back. Yeah, blast from the past.
Okay, it's not going to break orbit, but it just might get us to the city.
It's as easy as come in, make a character, play the amazing.
Chet, I don't think there's
going
going to be a Destiny 3. I super don't think so anymore.
And then land in the tower.
And then we'll set them loose to open up the world as they see fit.
And have sort of an array of potential in front of you.
You can just start playing the game and get into some of the same activities that your friends might be playing.
Wow.
The campaigns from D to Year One, the Red War, Curse of Osiris, and Warmind.
Every world we have will be available for them to explore and to free roam and to do bounties on. Every cooperative strike, whether they're playing with friends or matchmaking, every competitive multiplayer map.
The D2 Year One raids like Leviathan.
Full access to Gambit, the hybrid mode that we have. All these things are available to them for nothing.
We've always said that Destiny is best when you play it with your friends, and we're trying to make it easier. So if your friends who are playing Destiny are on different platforms, we're adding cross saves so that you can move between the different platforms and play wherever your friends are.
It's just a new starting point. Well, the thing is, though, is that, like, it resolves the problem of your character, if you were new to the game, already existing beforehand. So from a story perspective, you don't need Destiny 1 anymore to feel like an entry point.
We just couldn't get there for capital R reasons. And many of those reasons have disappeared. So we are headed full steam ahead on that. And we got to figure out how we're going to get there and how we're going to give the players what they want.
As culture as we can get. Thanks, buddy.
Our original vision for Destiny was a world that would evolve and change.
We're leaning really hard into that because we believe that's where the future of Destiny is.
The long horizon for Destiny is to become an evolving world. You know, you're going to tune in to see what's going to happen next.
We can completely build Destiny in the vision that we want it to be in. A vision that isn't dictated by a commercial model or a business plan, but our creative vision and what we want to do for our players and what they want us to do with Destiny.
I feel like our work isn't done. We have a series of missions that we need to finish before I think we have Destiny in the place that it needs to be, and we're back to, I guess, finish the fight, so to speak.
Nice.